Hello everybody, Exotic Realm here, and welcome back to some more survival games. And today I've actually got a little topic for you guys, and this topic is going to be about self-esteem. Because I know there's like a lot of people in the world who have low self-esteem, and that makes me really sad. So I just kind of want to talk about it, give my thoughts, my opinions on this matter. So I guess to start off, talking about self-esteem, we talking about society, and where does society, like what role does society play in terms of self-esteem? Because nowadays society has kind of set standards for people. What I mean by that is they've kind of set standards in which people are viewed. So for example, now there's just lots of commercials for cars, makeup, clothing, technology, all this, all that, like all the new, the cool, the awesome stuff that everybody should have nowadays. And what society is doing is they're using these commercials and pretty much setting a standard for people in which they're based off of. So they're pretty much saying, oh, look at how cool this is, or this is awesome, you must have this. And they're saying people pretty much nowadays, if you have these products, then you're considered cool, right? You're a cool kid. Like, oh, I have the latest iPhone, I have this Bugatti, I have the coolest shoes, I have the coolest clothes, like, you know what I mean? So society has kind of set a standard on what is perfection, because people are saying, if you have this, if you have all this, if you have riches, if you have all these possessions, then you're perfect. And what's really happening is society has turned something impossible to achieve, which is perfection, because nobody's perfect. Nobody can achieve perfection. What society is doing is they're turning perfection, or they're turning something that's impossible to achieve, which is perfection, into a standard used to measure people's worth. They're saying, if you have this iPhone, you're cool. If you have an old iPhone, like, get out of here. Like, you always gotta have the latest and greatest. And what happens is people start conforming to these standards, right? Because now, if you have all these, it's normal. It's normal to have the best clothes. It's normal to wear good makeup. And society starts judging people, seeing if they're normal based off of what they have and what they own, as well as, how they look and stuff like that. So when people start conforming to these standards and find out that it's impossible, you can't possibly achieve perfection, then people start doubting themselves, because if they're thinking, oh, well, this is what's normal, but I can't achieve this, then people start doubting themselves. They have self-doubt, they're self-conscious about their looks, they have low self-esteem. That's what causes low self-esteem. They start saying, oh, what will people think of me? That I'm different from everybody else. Because, everybody should be having all this good stuff, but I don't. So, people are never content with what they have, and they're always gonna have the latest and greatest. And it's gonna be impossible to keep up. Even if you're like super rich, you're never gonna be the person who looks the best, who has the best relationship, have all the possessions in the world that you possibly want. It's just impossible. You cannot achieve perfection. And so because this is like kind of like a standard in which society is judging people on, whether they're normal or not, people start, they start doubting themselves and they cannot achieve it, because, nobody can achieve perfection. So at some point or another, people are going to start doubting themselves, whether or not they're good enough for other people. Like, oh, I don't have the greatest iPhone. I don't have the latest iPhone. Am I good enough? Like, am I good enough compared to this guy right here who has like all this stuff, So I guess the main point I'm trying to make is, looks, belongings, money, relationships, all those, they're cool and all, but they don't define worth, okay? Just because other people own something, or dress this way, or do this or do that differently, doesn't mean that they're any better than you. You know what I mean? Everybody's different. Every human person, every human body is different from everybody else. Everybody has their own personalities, everybody has their own life. That's what makes the world unique. So people's self-esteem usually let their lives get defined by these things. So if you have low self-esteem, don't let temporary things define your life. Like, nothing on earth is gonna last forever. You know that. Possessions, money, none of that will last forever. In the long run, nothing matters. So don't let your life be defined by, something that just is temporary, because your life is very important. Your life is beautiful. Think about it. There are so many things. A human life, think about how valuable that is. Just take a moment, think about it. A human life. Like, it is very beautiful. It is very valuable. And it's just so worthy, like, to think about. And it is sad when people, you know, compare their own worth based off of, you know, what other people have. Like, if I don't have this, I'm not good enough. It's called, there's something called a, you know, a self-fulfilling prophecy. It's pretty much, you know, if you think that you're worthless, then you're gonna think you're worthless. Like, a lot of people have low self-esteem because, you know, they think they're not good enough for other people. They're doubting themselves, and it's all because they're thinking that, you know? If you think you're worthless, chances are, you know, you're gonna be depressed, you're gonna be sad in your life. But if you say to yourself, you know what, I'm gonna love myself, I'm gonna accept who I am, I know my worth, I'm not gonna let temporary and unimportant things define my life and how I live, then, you know, things start looking up. Everybody, you'll start living a more positive and happy life. You know what I mean? So I guess, to recap, society, they're kind of, you know, they're judging people pretty much based off of what you have. You know, it's pretty obvious nowadays that everyone's just, if you have the latest and greatest things, you're cool. And it's impossible to achieve perfection. So when people realize that they can't live up to society's standards, they start having self-doubt, they're self-conscious about how they are, like who they are, and they start realizing they're not good enough, which is not true. So, you know, remember, guys, that all these are temporary things. Don't let them define your life, because your life is beautiful, you know? So it is not worth defining your life over money, possessions, you know, who I'm with, relationships. Like, none of that is really important compared to, you know, your self-worth, because how you live your life, it ultimately starts with, you know, self-worth, self-evaluation. Like, what do I think of myself? So just remember, guys, you guys are worthy, you guys are not worthless, you guys are loved. And if you think that, you know, I'm not worth it, you know, people, well, I don't matter in this world, you do, okay? You matter to me, you matter to God, and you matter to your parents, you know? There's friends, family. Those are the people that are important in your life. Just remember that, you know. Don't let temporary things define your self-esteem, define your self-worth. Yes, that's pretty much this topic for this video. I kind of like I went all in. I just like talk about everything. I hope this makes sense to you guys. But if you guys, you know, let me leave a comment if you guys will have anything to add. You know, just your opinions on this, anything I missed. Just anything you'd like to say, your thoughts, your comments, leave them down below. So yeah, that is pretty much it for this video. So hope you guys did enjoy. Please leave a like and subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.